Okay, this is going to be kind of short. This is just the care of the containers and stuff once you get them, if you do get them. Sometimes if you leave these things in the refrigerator for days, like we did the other night, we took out some leftovers from about 3 days old, combined them with some other leftovers. These things can be, the lids on this particular type can be a little hard to get off. Of course, you've got to release the pressure, hold it down until there's no pressure left in it. If you can't pry this thing open, which I had a problem the other night with, pick the handle of a butter knife or dinner knife, pry it up, and take it off. Okay? Now, everything in here can be washed in the top rack of your dishwasher, never the bottom. It also says you can warm things in this. I don't recommend that either. Take it out, warm it in a better dish than this. Plastic over a period of time, if it's heated up a lot, is going to get brittle. This is another accessory if you're putting vegetables or something that's damp. Remember, air and water will make food deteriorate very rapidly. So this keeps everything off the bottom. These have to be washed by hand only. This will pop off. Be sure everything is clean. Be sure these seals are immaculate. Nothing collected in here, because that's where the sealing. These things are incredibly strong, but if you get food stuff up in these things, it won't seal properly. All of these will come out. You can pop this out, but I don't recommend doing that very often. Once you've washed it, leave the cap off so everything can dry out. Turn it upside down, put it down, and leave it overnight. Put this back on. This simply keeps anything moisture-wise from being sucked into the machine. Also, you don't want to fill these up more than about 3/4 of the way, especially if it's got liquid in it. Okay? This type of container, the same thing applies. Wash up top in your dishwasher, never in the bottom. This piece here simply pops off. If you wash it very well, you're going to get water up into this area. This also will come off. Take all of that off, shake it out after you've washed it off, set it like so on a rack, and let it dry overnight. Again, you don't want any moisture in here. You know, you're going to get some, but not enough to hurt the machine. But if you suck a lot of water out, your machine's going to pay for it later. Once everything is dry, you simply snap that back on. This fits in there, and you're ready to go again. Again, all the lids have to be washed by hand, never in the machine. We probably use this as much or more than the big machine, the little hand vacuum. I showed you before, this has to be taken off and cleaned out if you get any liquids in it. Same thing, wipe this off. This is an accessory that they should include. It's only $2. Normally you simply run your charging cord up in the middle of it, but it's not connected to anything. If you see, I've got some black goo in here. I'm sure Randy knows what JB Weld is. I positioned this where it will be permanently mounted inside. When we put this back in this little holster, is what we call it, I just press down and it charges. Otherwise, what you're going to have to do, have this in here, is pull this out, plug it into the bottom for charging, and you can set it back in here. But the little stand keeps the thing out of the way. Instead of having this lay around on top of a counter, you can put it up against a wall someplace. Simple. $2. You can order it, free shipping.